Welcome to this demonstration of the National Indian Gaming Association's Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey. My name is Nick Napolitano, and I am the Casino and Industry Relations Coordinator here at NIGA. This resource is intended for HR professionals, compensation specialists, general managers, and other decision makers working at tribally owned gaming facilities. This online survey is available on demand 24/7 and has an intuitive and very easy process for survey participants to submit their data. It offers a whole host of reporting options that can be extracted in a variety of formats, as well as customizable reporting features. We're now in year 2 of our online survey. This is when we will start to really appreciate that we're building a historical database that provides year-over-year comparisons. Now onto the survey the objectives for today's call. And they are to become familiar with the layout and capabilities of the platform, to learn how to enter and update your compensation information, and learn how to compare yourself to others in the database, and learn how to generate charts and reports. This survey was actually begun back around 2005. It was done through a database through Excel. And last year we brought it into the new millennium and online through cloud technology using our survey developer, Dynamic Benchmarking, who are also on today's call to provide demonstration. And last year for our 2013 survey, we actually asked folks for the 2012 data. This year for 2014, we're asking everyone for their 2014 data. It was originally developed last year using a beta testing process that involves about a dozen different facilities across Indian country. And after last year's survey ended, we used feedback to make some updates for this year's 2014 survey. You'll be hearing about those changes today as well. Feedback is always welcome. As mentioned, the survey evolves from year to year, and we're always looking for ways to improve it. So definitely let us know when you have any feedback, and you'll hear more later on in this demonstration about how to get us that feedback. And now I'm going to pass off the demonstration to my colleague Lisa Haswell, and she's going to show you guys how to use the survey. Lisa.
Thank you, Nick, and I'm happy to be here. I'm going to give you a short tour of the Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey. If you haven't seen it before, it was developed specifically for Indian gaming facilities by NIGA, and as Nick said, it's easy to use, powerful, and scalable. The survey will grow to meet the tribal needs for years to come. Cloud-based, this survey uses the latest encryption technology to ensure the anonymity of all the participants, and more importantly, the security of your data. In this webinar, as Nick said, we're going to briefly show you how to log in, just in case you've forgotten, how to answer questions, and how to move through the comparison and reporting features. As we've just launched the survey to collect 2014 data, I'd like to show you all a few of the new additions to the survey since last year. Just a brief overview of how to log in. This is our URL address, survey.indiangaming.org. If you already have an account, you're in great shape. You're ready to go. If you don't have an account, no problem. I'll show you how to set that up. So let's go ahead and look at the platform. This is the main gateway page that you'll see when you go to the URL. You'll notice that you have the ability to reset your password if you've forgotten it. And if you don't have an account, or if you don't remember even if you have an account, click here to send in a request to NIGA. Also, I'd like to point out that we have a cross-promotion with REDW's Tribal Compensation Survey, so certainly click here if you're interested in participating. So let's go ahead and log in with a fictitious facility. When you log in, you'll always be presented with a pop-up window that provides you with important information about this survey. Be sure to always look at this pop-up, as it will be updated periodically to reflect the most recent guidelines and possibly updates to features. We're also going to talk about on this pop-up when the survey is going to be open, how long it will be open, and when reports and charts will be available. Under the Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey logo and menu bar, you'll see we have 3 tabs. My Facility is where you'll enter your gaming facility data. Comparing is where instant personalized comparison information is accessed. And Reports and Charts is where you can download a variety of PowerPoint charts which will graphically display your data for deeper analysis. Looking at this page, you'll notice that all of the questions are divided into functional areas which contain bulleted categories with questions specific to gaming facilities. At the very bottom of this page, you'll see a progress report indicating how much of the survey you've completed for each year. In order to have access for comparison reporting features, you'll need to answer at least 60% of the questions in the survey. Question tallies are provided at the bottom of every category, so you'll know exactly where the unanswered questions lie. The default year whenever you log in is going to be 2014, but you'll always be able to go back and enter or view 2012 data if you'd like. We'll continue to add new years each year that we open the survey for data collection. As a brief reminder, remember that we have two different categories of questions. We have global questions on the top and annual questions on the bottom. Global questions need to only be answered once, but reviewed each subsequent year for accuracy. The annual questions are answered every single year. By entering data in annual sections, you'll have access to powerful year-over-year comparing and reporting. So to go ahead and answer questions about your facility, we can simply click on any bulleted gray question group. It's not necessary to start in any specific place, to proceed in any specific order, nor to complete the entire survey in one sitting. Notice on this page we have a brand new question group, new for 2014, called Staffing and Benefits. We can click on any question group to get started. As we look at the brand new staffing section, we're reminded that there are a variety of different kinds of questions. We have numeric data entry boxes, we have multiple choice radio buttons, and not shown on this page is text format questions. So you enter data in different formats in the survey, and notice when you're entering numbers, it's never necessary to indicate currency symbols, commas, or percentages, as the platform already knows what kind of information to be expected. So I'm going to go ahead and select some of these answers for my fictitious facility. You'll notice as the data is entered or updated, the white input box turns green. This means that the data has not yet been saved to the database. By clicking on the Save option at the bottom of every single page, the input box turns white again, which will tell you that the data has actually been saved to the database. It dynamically submits data as we move through the survey. Save will save to the database and remain on the same page. Save and Next will save to the database and move to the next logical location in the survey. And Cancel will go ahead and abandon any of the changes you've added here. You can always come back in and modify the data as many times as you'd like during the data collection phase of this survey. So while you're here, I'd like to point out one feature that you'll be seeing new this year. On the top right hand of every single annual metric page is the ability to copy prior year's data. By clicking on prior year's data, you'll be able to load the data that you entered in the prior year into this page. If there are any data points here already, they won't be overwritten. So let's go ahead and look at this. So you'll notice we found one answer for the prior year, but we've already answered that question for this year. This highlights the fact that we don't overwrite data that we've already entered. If we had a whole page full of data for a prior year, the whole page would be copied into the new year. We always click on Home to return to the Gateway page. In addition to our Profile section and our Staffing and Benefits section, the Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey collects employee compensation data about over 240 job positions. It's approximately 50 exempt positions and 190 non-exempt positions. You simply click on any of the positions that you have at your facility and enter data for only those positions. The positions are grouped into the following areas: Finance, Admin, HR, Guest Services, Facilities, Operations, Gaming, Hotel and Golf, Food and Beverage, Sales, Marketing, and Retail positions. A help document will be available on the support page to help you decide which of your positions fall into which categories. Notice that it's not necessary to enter data about positions you do not have at your facility. So let's go ahead and look at an example in the Finance department. The first tab in the Finance will always be a check all question to select all of the positions that you have in your facility. The subsequent tabs is where you're going to actually answer the questions for each of the positions you chose. So let's move into the Executive Compensation. Again, this is a brand new year, 2014. If we wanted to go back and see how we entered data for 2012, we can always click on the pull down. And remember, we can also use our Copy Prior Year data to grab the year from previous and enter it into this year. By doing that action, you notice that we grabbed our annual salary from 2012, and we're going to go ahead and say that we gave our CFO a raise this year. We're entering data that's annualized. So for executive positions, we want to enter the average annualized salary, minimum, and maximum. And if we have an official pay range for this position, we're going to enter that as well. If we don't have an official pay range, we're going to enter 0. Notice also that we've added a couple of new questions for 2014 about each position that's in the executive area. Alternate job title, if we have a position that has an alternate job title, we're going to enter it here. And if we don't, we'll enter NA. We also are going to indicate if at our facility this job is paid annually or hourly. Finally, we have one CFO, and all of our input boxes are turned green. We go ahead and press the Save key to save all of those positions back to the database. Notice that we can do the same thing with our non-executive compensation positions, and once again, we're only going to be answering the questions for the positions that we've selected at our facility. Return to the home page by clicking Home at any point in time. So at the close of the data collection phase, full launch participants will always have the opportunity to acquire access to the powerful filtering, comparing, and reporting features. So let's take a look at those features by clicking on the Compare tab. So the first thing you're going to notice is that the page doesn't look much different. We have all of the question groups that we had in the data entry page, except for in this time we're missing our progress chart and our question tallies because we're simply comparing. So let's go ahead and look at the same comparison that we were just looking at for the data entry. Select positions. So for finance, we noticed that we chose that we had a CFO, an accounting finance director, and a warehouse manager. The answers that we selected are in the blue. The answers that other people selected are in the black. The second thing you should notice here is that because we're entering 2014 and there's very, very, very little data in 2014 because we just opened, we're not really showing much information here. Let's go ahead and look at 2012 so we can see a little bit more meaningful comparison data. In this case, we have actual numbers on who has what position. Again, 50% of the facilities in the database had the same position of CFO that we have, as well as 28% had the same warehouse manager that we have. Let's go ahead and look at the compensation information for 2012. This is where things get really interesting because we can see a line representation of where we fall based on all the facilities in the database. All numeric metrics in the database will be displayed by a line chart, where on the left side we have the 25th percentile in black, on the right side we have the 75th percentile in black, and on the bottom we have the median in black. If we've answered this question, our answer will be on the top in blue, as well as what percentile we fall in. So at paying $155,000 for a CFO, we're at the 75th percentile, so we can see right away that we're doing very well here. Notice also that we have these powerful pop-up charts on the right-hand side. So where we have enough data for the metrics, we can simply click on the pop-up chart icon to generate on-the-fly scatter charts for numerics and bar charts for multiple choice. Again, once we have enough data for this metric, we'll be able to download it into PDF or PowerPoint charts for saving for future. Click X to always return. So while it's valuable to see how your facility compares to all the other facilities in the database, it's even more meaningful to compare your performance to a relevant peer group. Filters specifically designed by NIGA are set up on this platform to dynamically select peer groups and drill down into the data. Again, it's important to note that it's impossible to drill down so far in the data that the anonymity of any gaming facility would be compromised. For example, you can filter your data on other facilities' years in business, square footage, hours of operation, slot machines, and others. Click on Change to add any filters, and you'll notice that the numerics are adjusted with the blue slide bar, and the multiple choice filters are applied by a pull-down. Apply will apply the filters, Cancel will cancel the filters. Again, you're only able to drill down with the filters as long as the number of gaming facilities returned is enough, so that it's never possible to figure out which facility entered which data. To download the custom reports, we're going to click on the Report and Charts tab. Notice here that we also have the filters showing at the top, and they can be modified as desired. To download our reports, we're going to click on the year that we'd like the report for and download the report directly to our laptop. This is a great opportunity for you to indicate which key performance indicators, the benchmarks, that are most important to your facility. These are the benchmarks that you're going to be able to use to make important business decisions about your facility. Whenever we open up our PowerPoint charts, you're going to find a stack of slides of graphical representations about your facility's data. The first slide in the deck always contains the date the report was created and the username and the fiscal year. It also contains any filters that you applied. Notice as I step through these slides that there are many, many different chart styles, including line charts, bar charts, and pie charts. These PowerPoint slides can be saved, emailed, and printed to help you capture historic information, communicate with others, and prepare for presentations. Notice that you can return to the Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey at any time to rerun the filters and download additional reports that are available for different years. Again, click on Home to return to the main Gateway page. At this point, if you need help, I want to point out that you always have access to a support page. The support page will be an ongoing effort to provide additional downloadable documents, videos, and support contact information for you as you move through the survey. This concludes our brief overview of the Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey.
Thank you so much for that. I just want to talk really briefly about two of our survey partners for this year's survey. RIDW is one of NIGA's longtime associate members and has extensive experience working with Indian tribes and tribal-owned casinos on compensation issues. Also, the National Native American Human Resources Association is a nonprofit organization comprised of HR professionals working for or providing professional services to tribes. Both RIDW and NAHAR have been a huge help with updating the survey routine, especially with questions pertaining to benefits. At this time, I also want to put in a plug for RIDW's survey of tribal government positions, including gaming commissioners. Their survey uses the same online platform that the NIGA Tribal Gaming Survey uses, and it's just as easy to use. And finally, thank you everyone for your interest in NIGA's Indian Gaming Employee Compensation Survey. I hope you found this demonstration helpful. If you have questions or want assistance with setting up a survey account, please contact us at survey@indiangaming.org or call us at 202-546-7711. Please also reach out if you're interested in RIDW's Tribal Government Survey, and I'll be happy to refer you to those folks. Have a great day.